Hi all, how you doing? Hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. Okay, somebody asked me to review Mutuum Finance, okay, in the comments. So here we are. I haven't done a massive dig on this, but I have read a couple of articles. So I'm kind of gonna, rather than reinvent the wheel, I'm gonna go along with one of my friends' reviews of it already. Okay, so I'm basically gonna go through what they've already said because I agree with basically everything they've said. Okay, so rather than reinvent the wheel, I'm kind of just gonna copy them, hopefully with their permission. But I will be giving links to them, and well, you'll see in a minute anyway. But let's have a quick look at the website, Mutum Finance. Obviously, this looks like a very, clean website, very professional looking website. It's in pre-sale at the moment, $6.5 million reached currently. So it's got 8,000 holders. Now, in my opinion, 99.9% of pre-sales are scams. So I would say this is likely to be a scam, okay, at this moment in time. It doesn't matter what they say in the white paper and all of that. They can just lie through their teeth. Um, and there's lots of red flags, which we'll come to in a bit. So I'm just going to have a quick look through the website. Some of the things that aren't in there, now quite often these are, I can see other sort of pre-sale, the way that they're put together. They don't have connections with another website, which I won't actually mention. There isn't, sometimes they have like this pre-sale information here, what phase they're up to and stuff, and they have like a sort of link to another payment kind of processor thing, and that's not here. So maybe this is not by the same people. This is kind of worrying, okay? Crypto news, Coinpedia. Forget about that Binance. That's Binance news. Benzinga, Crypto Daily. Yeah, 'cause it's crypto news. A lot of these like paid PR websites, okay. Press releases, basically. You create an article and just put it all over these at the same time, and maybe you can slightly alter them. So you get like unique articles for better SEO responses, that kind of thing. So they talk about decentralized finance, and I'm always worried about this kind of decentralized finance, especially when there's kind of nobody behind it. Now, they kind everyone who sort of defends these things will say, well, it's decentralized, okay, so you're not meant to have anyone behind these things. But I'm not buying that. Okay, if you have stuff to do with finance, you generally have to have some sort of regulations somewhere, and if you have regulations, you kind of need somebody to be the head, okay, to be responsible. Um, so I don't buy that. Okay, that's where it falls down for me. Da, 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 da. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to achieve exactly with all of this, but you know, when I watch this website, I'm going to guess, right? As soon as I get to the roadmap, I'm going to guess there are four phases. All right. One, two, three, four. Oh, look, four phases exactly. How did I know that? Um, One thing they didn't mention was Best Wallet, okay, which is a good thing, but I was expecting them maybe to mention Best Wallet. So maybe this is a different scam team, okay? Because I think this is going to be a scam personally. Anyway, um, there's no team, okay? There's no team behind this. They're not openly transparent who the team is behind all of this. Anyway, let's have a look at this. This is like a review by theholycoins.com. Okay, so if you take a look at his site, he promotes, so he doesn't promote, he writes a lot of reviews on scam projects and stuff, and he doesn't really promote stuff. Okay, so he does proper reviews and he's going to tell you the truth. He's not going to tell some BS, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far. So this is a person that you can trust. He's not like in the previous YouTube video where I made. Um, a wolf in sheep's clothing where they will write an article to say certain things are scam, which will give you faith in them and give you trust in them. And then they'll go and do the opposite. They'll then write an article about a project which is clearly going to be a scam and they should know better. But because they're going to make money out of you, they don't care. Okay. So he's not that kind of guy, in my opinion. Anyway, let's see what he's got to say because I haven't read this now for a couple of days, but because I've been too busy. So Mutuum Finance, Mutuum sounds like mutton, okay, which thinks about sheep and wolves. The Mutuum Finance crypto project is a decentralized, non-custodial lending and borrowing platform offering pooled lending and peer-to-peer loans. The project claims to provide lenders with interest earning opportunities, okay, enable borrowers to access liquidity, and introduce an over collateralized stablecoin. Currently in its pre-sale phase, Mutuum Finance or Mutuum is positioning itself as an early stage decentralized finance (DeFi) cryptocurrency investment with the Mutuum token at the core of its ecosystem, offering high potential returns. So, these are definitely the future of finance, I believe. Okay. DeFi is going to be absolutely massive. Okay. But, is it going to be Mutum finance that's going to be massive? I personally don't think so. While the concept appears ambitious, its legitimacy is uncertain as it is yet to be determined. The pre-sale market is filled with fraudulent schemes, and many crypto projects raise funds without ever delivering a product. Okay, yeah, obviously I've covered lots of those. The critical question we'll try to examine here is whether Mutum Finance, I'm going to call it Mutum rather than keep changing. Mutum Finance, because it sounds a bit like mutton. Mutum Finance is whether Mutum Finance is a legit crypto investment or yet another crypto scam designed to take advantage of investors. The concept, a strong model, or just an idea. So many of these projects, which I've just been covering, all sound like a great idea, okay? And that's the problem. If you're going to have a great idea, I also think you need to have a great team behind this so people can have faith in this great team behind it. When you don't have a team behind it, it's so much harder to have faith in them, okay? Because there is no them. Before evaluating whether Mutum Finance is a legit investment, it's important to understand its proposed model. The DeFi platform aims to combine a peer-to-contract pooled lending model and a peer-to-peer model for riskier assets. Okay, in the P2C model, users deposit assets into shared liquidity pools like Aave and Compound. So, these kind of things are already there where they have people behind them like Aave and Compound. Who like the CEOs and people who are behind these projects already. To earn interest while borrowers take over collateralized loans. Okay, so basically, you give over your Bitcoin or something and get some USDC in return or whatever, something like that, I guess. And then you can invest that. And obviously you've got your collateral, which could that they could take off you if things go south. The P2P model allows lenders and borrowers to negotiate directly for more speculative tokens, e.g., SHIB, Pepe, etc., in isolated markets, reducing risk for the main liquidity pool. The protocol also plans to offer both variable and stable interest rates and introduce an over-collateralized USD-pegged stablecoin to facilitate lending, similar to DAI or GHO. I've not actually heard of GHO, if I'm honest with you. This dual model approach serves conservative users through P2C pools and those seeking higher risk opportunities through the P2P marketplace. On paper, the concept fits a proven DeFi user case. Okay, so yeah, this has been going on for quite a while already, where you give over your Bitcoin or something like that, and get something back in return that you can invest in something else. So uh, without actually selling your Bitcoin to get USDC or DAI or whatever. Crypto lending and borrowing are widely used in decentralized finance. However, the idea isn't alone isn't enough. What matters is whether Mutuum Finance can actually build a working platform that delivers on these promises. Now that the concept is clear, let's take a closer look at the details behind the project and whether it has the necessary foundation to succeed, or it's just another overhyped crypto pre-sale, which we've seen plenty of times and I've covered plenty of times too. While the white paper describes the different features in a relatively detailed manner, more than we're used to in other crypto pre-sales were covered, it is also missing a lot of information that should plant us confident that the crypto project has what it takes to implement all this. Who will develop this complicated product? How long would it take? How much is it supposed to cost? What if not enough money is raised through the Mutuum Finance pre-sale? Yeah, have there been prior funding raise rounds? What is the breakdown usage of funds raised in the pre-sale? This and more are missing from the Mutuum Finance white paper, which leaves us with too many unanswered questions. And that's what you don't want in a in a white paper, unanswered questions. And also, if you're going to do like a finance website, usually people who are behind these kind of things will kind of think of pretty much everything that someone could ask a question about. And so therefore they should kind of answer the questions before they get asked, basically. In my opinion, these people behind these kind of finance projects are pretty switched on to things if they're legit. Okay, that's the important thing. Mutuum Finance crypto team and KYC are concerning lack of transparency. So here we go. The most important aspect behind any complicated DeFi project is the team behind it. As I've been saying about DeFi, a DeFi platform is not a meme coin project. You need to have specific knowledge and prior experience that not many have. A good team can move mountains, but the Mutuum Finance crypto team doesn't disclose itself. Okay, so they're non-existent. We've seen other projects that do not reveal the team identities, but at least share their prior relevant experience in a convincing manner that the information is true. That's not the case with Mutuum Finance, so huge red flag there, which contrasts sharply with the transparency of more reputable DeFi projects, e.g. Aave and Compound. Unlike other crypto pre-sales, where we could at least estimate they originate from the UK, Mutuum Finance provides no such indication. No reg warning message even appears, even when connecting with a UK IP address. Okay, so that's interesting. So, actually, did I go there and let me just see that. Does it ask if I'm from the UK? Um, Mutuum Finance. So I'm using a UK IP address, and like you say, it doesn't say anything. Normally, a lot of these kind of sites, if you're from the UK, it will see that you're from the UK and say, you're from the UK, you should turn around immediately. Okay, you're not allowed on here, basically. Because the UK, you're not allowed to do anything anymore. But that's another story in its entirety. Um, This lack of disclosure left us wondering if the Mutuum Finance crypto project has the knowledge, competence, and accountability to develop such a complex financial instrument. Oh, by the way, just in case, what I mean by that, let me just show you an example. Because BlockDAG, for instance, if I go to BlockDAG network, forbidden country, okay, continue, leave the site immediately. This site is not accessible to users from the UK. So it kind of should say that. Mutuum Finance, it should say that to me, really, and it doesn't. So clearly it wants my money. What they'll argue is this is DeFi, okay? And so it's open to everybody. This lack of disclosure has left us wondering if the Mutuum Finance crypto process of knowledge, common blah 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 blah. Proof of development, market validation. One of the basic steps in any startup before fundraising is proving there is a market need for the product and validating the idea. The journey to product launch is long. It requires significant funding, resources, and risk. That's why ensuring a product has actual demand is imperative. Established rivals like Aave and Compound already dominate this space. How does Mutuum Finance plan to compete with these well-established players? A concept alone isn't enough. Did they interview potential users? Did they engage with liquidity providers? Have they developed any part of the financial product? Have they secured committed participants within the ecosystem? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be investing in this project. So you want to know if they've done any due diligence, if they've done any sort of fact checking, any research to know if this project is going to fly or not. Because otherwise, $6 million could easily just go down the tube, and you could be paying for people who are behind the scenes who you don't even know. We have no evidence of this, and the lack of such information suggests that they have not done this. If they have taken these steps, they would have made it known, as this would add legitimacy to the crypto project. Okay, so at the moment, it's just like an idea that's completely untested. So far, the Mutuum Finance crypto product, okay, and that's why they're highlighting here product like this, okay, because it doesn't exist at the moment, remains unproven. Little more than promise of a DeFi lending platform. Smart contracts and the Mutuum token audit nowhere to be found. We understand that the Mutuum Finance crypto platform has yet to launch, so the team cannot audit its complex smart contracts. Okay, but what about the Mutuum Finance tokens? Simple ERC20 smart contract. Why hasn't the Mutuum token audit been conducted? How can crypto investors be certain they're buying into a pre-sale that won't later change the selling fee to 100%? Once the token lists, how do they know the Mutuum Finance crypto team can't mint new tokens? Obviously, that is a huge, huge thing. Okay, if they can just mint new tokens, it means the Mutuum Finance tokens are completely worthless, basically, um, leading to massive inflation and devaluing their holdings. It's a puzzling decision not to audit the Mutuum token prior to the crypto pre-sale launch, one that raises further concerns. Okay, so huge red flag. Mutuum Finance, crypto marketing, excessive hype to attract crypto investors. Okay, so we've seen this kind of thing before in pre-sales. And remember, this is a finance project. Finance projects shouldn't really be hyped up, okay? You don't see Barclays going around hyping up things and proper financial institutions hyping them. They talk about factual things usually, okay? And they'll also put in warnings because these are financial products. You could lose all your money, blah, blah, blah. Googling Mutuum Finance returns an endless stream of sponsored content and press releases, okay, which I've kind of mentioned here. If you have a look at Mutuum Finance here, you get this. Mutuum Finance surges, 1 million pre-sale, 100x potential, okay? So that title there is a huge red flag. They shouldn't be saying things like that, okay? And 99 Bitcoins is obviously a scam site promoting a lot of scam projects. How to buy Mutuum Finance and Mutuum price prediction. Okay. Mutuum Finance pre-sale hits a million 1.1. Stage one sells out. Okay, so that's just factual. But yeah, but this kind of article here, let's open it up. Okay. Clear. Let's see what it says at the bottom actually. I haven't looked. Oh, these are just scammers. Uh, Molten pre-sale hype reminds me of Tesla in the early days. What? Okay, these are just like bots saying all this nonsense, aren't they? Okay, let's carry on. Googling blah 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 blah. None appear to be authentic or organic. So that's the thing, you want a journalist. you want a journalist to write these things who's independent, who's not been paid off and that kind of thing, and to come up with, positive conclusions. None appear to be authentic or organic, and several exaggerate the Mutuum token's potential as speculative estimates, such as a 2,400 ROI projection we found in one article. That is just obscenely ridiculous, okay? Another sponsored piece includes the following misleading statement. The project's launch price is set at 0.06, meaning those entering now are locked in a guaranteed 600% increase before the token ever reaches exchanges. And that's the thing, a lot of these people get into these projects, things like BlockDAG, because they're thinking that, they're buying it pre-sale and they're expecting the launch price to be like 10x. Okay, so they're thinking they're just onto a guaranteed winner. While it's understandable that a crypto pre-sale needs exposure to attract cryptocurrency investors, the disproportionate emphasis on aggressive paid marketing over real-world product development and transparency raises major concerns. This imbalance often signals fraudulent behavior, yep, where crypto projects attempt to obscure fundamental issues with excessive promotional rhetoric. For us, this is yet another warning sign and a potential scam indicator. Okay, so this is the article in question on Cryptopolitan, and I think Cryptopolitan has produced many PR articles which are paid for by the team who are kind of promoting it. So uh, uh, it's not a journalist acting alone. Okay, my car. Okay, markets in crypto assets regulation compliance, ignoring reg standards. MyCar is a strict regged framework that applies to crypto pre-sales, targeting EU citizens. Any crypto, okay, and that's the thing. So if you're in the UK, in the EU and UK, I guess, actually, we'll be, yeah, I mean, I'm sure this probably applies to me as well. That I should have this. Oh, let's just go through it. Any crypto pre-sale targeting EU investors must adhere to its guidelines. We previously wrote a detailed article about MyCart and its impact on crypto pre-sales. Given that Mutuum Finance is positioning itself as a complex financial instrument that will inevitably face strict reg scrutiny, we expected it to comply with MyCart. However, the project fails to meet these requirements, from missing predefined disclaimers in its white paper to the lack of transparency regarding associated companies and individuals. Mutuum Finance is exposed to potential sanctions and legal action from European regulators and crypto investors. This is not how a financial project should operate, making it a significant warning sign for us, all of us. Conclusion: is Mutuum Finance crypto a scam? We could dig deeper into Mutuum Finance crypto pre-sale, but what we've uncovered so far already raises significant concerns between the undisclosed team, lack of audits, and excessive focus on marketing, okay, over product development. If you're a proper financial product, your product would be the thing that that sells, okay, that sells you, okay. Proper financial products sell themselves effectively, okay? Not these empty promises. 600% gains is totally ludicrous. No proper financial project would say they're going to make 600% gains. It's just ludicrous, okay? And basically, that's the thing that sort of points out that this is going to be a scam. And an excessive focus on marketing over product development. The red flags are too many to ignore. Totally agree. In our opinion, there is a high probability. Okay, I mean, let's face it, it's gonna be a scam, isn't it? Okay, it's pretty much 100% nailed on. High probability that Mutuum Finance is a scam. While we cannot make a definitive judgment at this stage, a legitimate startup wouldn't operate the way Mutuum Finance has. Exercise caution with your money, okay? So in other words, don't go into this, guys. It's gonna He's going to do something that's going to take your money. You're likely to end up with less money than what you started with if you invest your money in Mutuum Finance. That is what I'll say about this project. So, yeah, thanks very much for the Holy Coins, okay, for writing this article and creating a view of it and trying to protect people's money who are going to go into this. I totally, wholeheartedly agree with what the Holy Coins has said. I'll leave a link in the description so you can visit this site, join this site. He's on Twitter as well. Um, so join his Twitter and keep checking out his website as well. It's a very good website. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening. And Mutuum Finance looks like one to avoid.